once I like bought in and just, followed and listened to everything you guys are saying, everything started to click. And it was kind of cool because, like I said in that first meeting, Logan laid out like, at month 2 you'll hit this, at month 3 you'll hit this, and then like seeing that actually come to fruition.
All right, guys. So today we have the Knicks here with me, the three of us, and these two guys, and these guys met in Launch Socials and became business partners. Similar story, similar path, and they're here. We're just gonna do a quick video, just going over what their process is like and what they've done. And I want to leave it to you guys. Intro, like how'd this get started? What was your initial reasoning for joining Launch Socials, and who are you guys?
Yeah, so I guess I'll go first. I started, and the reason I wanted to work with you guys is I went through like years of just suffering from terrible gut health, all kinds of health issues outside of that. I've been thinking of ways to kind of like share my message, try to get back to other people and help people through that process. And as I like thought about it more and more, I just realized like there's thousands of people out there. I could turn this into something where I'm, helping people, but also charging and making a living from it. I've been following you guys for like a couple of months, and I just kept seeing people in similar situations. They had like some kind of skill or something, and you guys helped them build up that following, help them turn that into an offer. And so after just seeing like testimonial after testimonial, it was very clear you guys knew what you were doing, and you guys would be the best option to kind of build up those socials. So that's why I joined. And yeah, it's been incredible just learning how to do that. Your guys' processes, like I had no idea where to start from. And this has been like the most helpful thing possible.
Amazing. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, definitely a similar situation to other Nick here. When I got on Twitter, I was getting into health and fitness stuff. Met a lot of guys on there. And I was seeing improvement with my own diet because I have the same disease that Nick had. And once I kind of started focusing more on gut health and realizing the same thing he realized, where I could help people with this, I could share my message, share my story and all that, was not too long after when Logan reached out and I started seeing some more of your guys' content in the program you offered, and it just kind of, the stars aligned. It just made sense. It's like, I do not know what to do next. Let's get in the program. Let's see what this is all about. Let's see if they can help me. Yeah, the amount of knowledge, the amount of stuff I could apply to my content, the business has been just incredible.
Amazing, and I appreciate that, guys. And what was there any like skepticism that you guys had? Anything that you were like, I don't know.
I wouldn't say not skepticism. At first I tried because I just saw people posting like on social media. I was just trying to like replicate that myself.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything that made me hesitant to work with you guys. It was just at first kind of being stubborn and like I can figure this out myself. So I've been like trying to do this for a while and it just wasn't going anywhere. And I just kept seeing like people you guys were working with in the health space and business space just all over the place, like build up their socials within months. And then it just became clear, like I had no idea what I was doing, and you guys clearly had like the perfect recipe to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have a ton of skepticism either. When Logan DM'd me, I thought it was one of his like setters DMing me or something. I actually don't know if it was, but I could just...
It might have been.
If it was him actually DMing me, I could kind of tell just the way he was talking. So hopefully it was, but either way, I ended up joining. But in the beginning, kind of on Twitter, I was skeptical of hiring people because like I thought I was a know-it-all. I thought I figured everything out. I was like, I can do it myself. But after a month of trial and error, I tried and I was like, okay, yeah, they say I need to hire someone to expedite this because.
So my next question is actually like, what did you guys try previously? And it sounds like both of you were just doing trial and error, just like seeing what other people were doing and like testing it basically. You didn't try really any like other processes. Yeah.
I did have one. I hired a coach like a year ago, just when I was just starting. So I had like 200 followers. I was doing general health and fitness coaching, not even gut health stuff. And I learned a lot from him. He's actually one of my good friends on Twitter. But I was nowhere near like at the right time to do that. And I was not fully bought in. I was not consistent. So that was just like a really good learning experience, I think, to kind of gear me toward where I am now.
Gotcha. And where are you guys at now? Like, let's talk about it. Obviously, we started working together. I forgot. I think Nick Marsh. I think you're more recent.
I was like right around Christmas when I joined, I think.
And then I think other Nick, you were probably like almost last summer or something. But like, where do you feel like you guys are at now? Obviously, you guys met inside Launch Socials, are business partners, etc. But talk to me about that. What do the numbers look like? What do the clients look like? Like, what's the progress been?
Yeah, it's been, I think at first, like, my whole focus was just on building up my following, and then eventually got to the point with you guys where content was on point and wanted to launch an offer. So right after I did that, I think is around the time that Nick Marsh joined. We just come in contact, like, obviously had the same disease from the same city, just had all these connections, just kind of stayed in contact there. And it just made sense, like, teaming up, adding a different perspective, a different, set of like knowledge and experience with somebody else in the exact same space just made a ton of sense. So as we kept talking about that, just kind of came to the conclusion that that would be the best way for us to both grow our offer, our followings, everything. So yeah, we've been focusing on that now, just expanding our offer, making that better. I think we're at like 15 clients that we've worked with in total so far.
Nice.
So just trying to make the program better and expand it and just get the lead gen going and get to the point where we're consistently making, 20, 30,000 a month.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And would you add anything?
To add to that, we realized our skill sets matched really well, and you guys kind of helped us with that. Where I worked for another fitness coaching program, and I did a lot of back end stuff, so I saw a lot of that. And I realized I could apply that to what we're doing now. And since Nick had already launched the offer for himself before I joined, he was already doing a lot of the front end. We kind of just figured out like we could actually,
Yeah.
multiply this and exponentially grow this versus just being linear growth.
Yeah. And I know you went into it a little bit, but what would you guys say is your process overall with us? And like, how did that make sense? And how did that like incrementally build over time? What did that process look like for you guys? And what are some realizations maybe you had and things that we helped you change?
Yeah, for me, it was just understand. So like, I didn't work with anybody else before I started with you guys. For me, it was just understanding like the psychology behind content, like the processes of like how to make content,
Yeah.
how to actually like structure an offer, like what things I should be focusing on providing, how to fulfill all that stuff. So I think just having like the actual the knowledge and like teaching me how to do those things, but then also you guys having like real world examples of like people you've worked with, how you guys have done this yourselves, and just being able to see, like the videos and learning about it, but also seeing you guys implement it and seeing other clients implement it. Just over time, it was like, I just kept learning more and more and more and just kept refining different areas of it. And even like recently, I've gone back and like rewatched a lot of the videos and just kind of reminded myself of like the basics, like the psychology of like, contrarian views and stuff like that when it comes to content. So yeah, it's just been like a continually learning and expanding process.
I mean, first thought jumps to mind is when I joined, I didn't even know what a hook type was. So when I heard that, when I learned about that, like, oh,
Most people don't. Most people don't.
Most people don't, right? But that was my first kind of light bulb. Like, this is a thing, hook types. And Logan was always talking about on these calls. And another thing I really like is the way you guys drop like real world examples. You have clients who've done this stuff. You contextualize it. You're very good at like riding certain trends and certain waves. Like you take advantage of any, I guess, momentum you have, and not even just like a trend, but like if you find something that works, like keep going to it.
Yeah.
Keep doing it over and over and over again. You don't have to stop just because you did it already. Like just keep going. And I've found that in my life, not just in content, like everything else I do. Like if I just keep that momentum going, ride it out, like that's been huge. Just a mindset shift.
Amazing. And like, is there anything you guys have disliked so far or would have changed about our process?
I can kind of spin this in a good light.
Sure.
When I joined, it was a lot different than what it is now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys had the call structure, I think, right around when I joined, and Nick probably could speak to this better than I could because he joined 6 months earlier or whatever. But the way you guys have continued to grow has been really beneficial. So I guess maybe just in the beginning, there was not a lot of one-on-one communication or accountability. Like it was either you show up on the group calls and get something out of it, or you're not going to get anything out of the program. So maybe more sort of like accountability in the beginning, but I think you guys have already improved on that.
I think we nailed that for sure. That was definitely a missing element, 100%.
Yeah, I kind of the same thing he was saying, just over time, like the different topics. I think when I first joined, I think they were like more broad, the calls, I think in terms of like what you guys were touching on, but then breaking out with like a sales specific call or like, fulfillment specific calls and stuff like that
Yeah.
was much better for me. Um, and yeah, I think just like the content, everything you guys provide over time. 'Cause, yeah, it's been like almost a year now since I joined, and it's just been like the structuring of the calls, like the content that you guys add to school and all that stuff over time has just gotten better and better. And um, yeah, I feel like even at this point, I'm still learning things like every week just from stuff that you guys share.
Amazing, bro. I appreciate that, man. And what would you guys say you liked most about the process, or what worked best?
I think the very first thing, so like right after I joined, having the call with Logan and just kind of like being able, because like I didn't know what I was doing at all when I first started. I didn't know what to focus on, and like sitting down with Logan and laying out like specifically the first couple of weeks, this is what you should be focusing on. Month two, shift your focus to this, and just like giving me that clarity of everything I need to be focusing on. I think that was because like I think a lot of people will just throw the information at you. Like you guys have like the videos and like these documents and stuff you provide, but going through like a specific scenario with me of like, here's all this important stuff you need to focus on, but here's how to apply it like to your
The
specific situation.
contextual like reasoning for doing it.
Yeah, I think that was the most helpful for me.
Doing those first three docs were the biggest for me when you had three docs still.
Yep, it's one doc
Um,
now.
I had a lot of excuses in my mind telling me not to do them because I'm like, this is so much work. I'm not going to get anything out of this. But one day I just hit the right frame of mind of like, yo, why would I not be doing this? I just paid them to do this. Like, I should do this. So, I wrote my whole story out again and I found a lot of blind spots that I was either neglecting or suppressing, whatever.
Yeah.
And that really kind of helped me start to, I guess, lead into the other two docs I had to do. A lot of things made a lot more sense. I remember writing, like before I didn't even connect with other Nick here, my partner, and before I realized like what I was fully going to do, I was like, maybe I would do like a gut health community or something. Like I wanted to help people, right? But like I kind of hinted, I was like, maybe that would happen one day. And then 3 months later, here I am, literally doing my dream on that doc or something, which is crazy to me.
Amazing, bro. And guys, is there anything like I got a full understanding of it. I think this is like helpful for anyone watching just to understand our process, what we do, and like how you guys have crushed it so far. But do you guys think there's any last words that either of you want to add? Any last like just like tidbits of knowledge, etc. that you think is important?
I think kind of echoing off what Nick just said with like a lot of these docs, and just things in general, like it might not seem like at first when I was going through and found out like my story and all these checklists and stuff, like it didn't seem at the time important, but like sticking to that process and just trusting, that was a good thing. Like I knew you guys knew what you were doing. I'd seen, like I've been following you guys, saw you guys build up your following, just
Yeah.
knew that you guys knew what you were doing. So at first I was like, I don't really want to fill out these checklists. I don't want to do all this stuff. But once I like bought in and just, followed and listened to everything you guys are saying, everything started to click. And it was kind of cool because like I said in that first meeting, Logan laid out like, at month two, you'll hit this, at month three, you'll hit this. And then like seeing that actually come to fruition was pretty awesome. But yeah, I'd say just buying in and following the process is the most important part. And once you do that, results just happen automatically.
I think overall, just the way you and Logan and even your whole team are just in the trenches with us, like every day, whether it's on calls,
Yeah.
sending messages to hype us up in the chat, just like regardless of where we're at, there's a way for you to connect with us because you've been there, or even if you've not directly been there, what we're going through to some degree, and you can find a way to help us in a specific situation. So I really appreciate about you guys.
Amazing, guys. I super appreciate you guys' time. Thanks for jumping on. This is great. Thank you, guys.